Good morning, everyone. Today is the 10th of October. I had to look at my phone real quick. We are going into a carryover mode. Let me show you. Today, we're going into a carryover mode and carryover trend. Yesterday's counter trend breakaway really moved in the opposite direction. And I have been, arguing with myself over counter trend patterns to try to use either the last 3 days trending or this short term warning pattern as a directional trend. And let me show you what's going on. So, last 3 days trending here, generally, if we look at this going into yesterday's activity, which is right here, you can see that we're generally in a moderate little upward swing here. So that's why I suggested that counter trend would be to the downside. If I take a look at the short-term trend as of yesterday was a warning trigger, meaning that we were moving downward or consolidating. So a counter trend trigger would have potentially been to the upside using this. So I'm still debating on which is the best measure for the counter trend triggers. I'm still going to probably just stick with the last 3 days trending because that seems to work. I may filter in a little bit of this short-term trending as well, that when we get into warning, this is not bullish, this is slightly bearish, warning of a potential consolidation or a topping pattern. But basically we had a good solid breakaway, just directionally I was wrong. And again, that was my interpretation of the counter trend trigger. Counter trend triggers typically go against trend mode or directional trend. So I was looking at this as a counter trend, looking at these patterns here. Upward trending counter trend would be to the downside, I thought. Yesterday's move was to the upside. Okay, it kind of threw us off a little. Now we're back into this buy here trigger. We're looking for a carryover trending. Now, typically a carryover pattern is similar to what happened yesterday. So over here on this chart, if I take a look at this range yesterday, from here basically up to here on a close, and I carry that over here to wherever we open today, we're looking at a move maybe up into 581, 582, at 583 on the SPY, somewhere out in this area, probably in some sort of a moderate melt up type of trend today, carrying over into this mode. Okay, so we're looking at a good solid rally phase here, which aligns very strongly with my drawing, expecting a rally up into this area by the end of the day on Friday. I think we're going to see a good solid move to the upside here, and I think it's gonna kind of surprise people here. But that's just what the patterns are showing. Remember, the patterns right now are showing a carryover trend and an inside breakaway in trending mode. Okay, we are back into bullish trending here. We're back into bullish trending here. So at this point, we're looking for a pretty solid rally to the upside, maybe 586, 587, 588 by Monday or Tuesday of next week, maybe even a little higher. Okay, now with the QQQs, kind of the same pattern taking place here. We had the counter trend that didn't play out as a downward move, which I had expected. We're looking at that buy here mode. Trying to look into a fairly solid rally, and I would suspect again that we're going to be looking at an opening price here, another follow through up into the 460, 496, 497 area, followed by a carryover breakaway into the 500, 501 area by Friday. So pretty solid move overall, maybe up 2%, 1.75% to the upside. And like I said, if you take a look at my analysis, now remember, I drew these 2-3 weeks out into the future, okay, based on my cycle patterns. And as much as people like to come out and complain about my charts and what I'm trying to show you and all the lines that I draw, I again, I get some great comments from people. I love it when people contact me and tell me, that they like or whatever my analysis. The whole point is I challenge anybody. If you think you're great at this or can beat me, go ahead and do it. Show me vertical bars like I'm doing here, showing what price is going to do 2, 3 weeks out into the future. Give me your feedback, give me your reasoning, tell me what's going on, and let's see how accurate you are. Okay. I mean, I don't know of anybody that can predict price 2, 3, 4 weeks out into the future with any moderate degree of accuracy. I mean, at best, you'd be looking at 50-50. If you look at my analysis, I'm probably pushing somewhere around 70, 75, maybe 80% accurate in most cases. And remember, I've been doing this now for almost 6 months. I've got 6 months worth of data projecting out into the future like this, going back nearly 180 days, 150 days of data doing this. So it's not like I'm just some guy that showed up out of the blue doing this. I've been doing this now for 6 months, projecting these patterns out, helping people and living or dying by this analysis. So again, if you guys, want to challenge or think this is, hocus pocus, whatever, really do it yourself. Show me anybody who can predict market price 2, 3 weeks out into the future with any degree of accuracy, and let's see what they've got. Okay, now as we move over here to gold, gold is finally setting up that base bottom above 2620. We're under a little pressure today, and you can see my gold patterns. We expected this volatility a little bit, not necessarily this breakdown. And again, this was prompted primarily by the US bond auctions, but we're holding up down here near this 2520 area. And this 2520 area, really 2521.6, is critical support. So we're looking for gold right now to try to move into this buy zone right here. So it's going to look like right over in this area, it's going to be our buy pattern. And we're going to look at getting a nice rally, possibly back up into 2,700 over here. Gold wants to make a move, in my opinion, up to 2,750, 2,780. And this move here, this rotational pattern, is really kind of a washout low. So I believe that gold is going to try to make a move up into 2680, 2690 again, and then attempt to move back up over here. I don't see how gold, consolidates given the amount of fear that's going on in the market and given the amount of market demand for precious metals. So be aware that I think it's a pretty solid move to the upside, at least back into this trending channel that I just highlighted here. So this is kind of a washout pattern. Remember, below this level, below this 2620 area, as I mentioned yesterday, all bets are off. At this point, in my opinion, if gold gets below 2620 on a strong close, I don't know that we have anything more than a deeper pullback in play. So remember that gold is moving through a series of price functions. It's run into resistance here. I mean, theoretically, we have quite a bit of support around this area here. You can see it comes back into this area here. But we need to see this move away from this channel very cleanly today, back to the upside. Okay. And really just retake this 2675, 2680 area today. I would consider that a big win for gold, versus staying down here around 2640, 2650. So we'll see how it plays out. Silver, let's take a look at silver real quick. Silver building a little base, trying to do the same thing as gold. You can see I highlighted this area over here, this 30, 35 area as critical support. We are flagging. You can see a very tight little flagging formation setting up here. So we could get a breakaway pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we could attempt to break downward off of this. It's a, I don't want to say a little scary, but it is what it is. Gold is setting up a pattern here, a flagging pattern. And again, this is a 2-hour chart. Sorry, this is silver. And so coming down here, A, B, C, D. We're going to have to play this out. I read it as a breakaway to the upside. I read it as a breakaway like this. But that low pattern right here, this area, which is really that apexing pattern, is critical support. So 3040 is critical support. We get below that level in silver, I would say that the bullish trend capacity is over and done, and we're moving lower. I'm looking for a move back up here to 32. Basically 32 and change would be a nice rally away from this low, indicating that we're going to potentially move higher. And like I said, I believe metals are really overall really in an uptrend. I think this is just a not moderate pullback. And again, if I come over here and see what my gold chart looks like. Yeah, I've got a bunch of excess phase peak patterns. And you see we've got a little bit of a roll here in gold. This is a 15-minute chart. If I delete everything and go to daily, you can see where we're at with gold. We have rolled downward. We are still in that Fibonacci 382 level. We still need to, we could potentially move down into that 618 level and try to get out of it. I'm looking for this 382 level to hold right now and try to move higher. We've seen just a moderate little pullback. We've seen deeper pullbacks in gold, but like I said, the measured move wise, we have these very strong measured moves. Okay. And, I'm trying to give you an example here. This is a solid measured move. This is again another solid measured move to the upside. Again, another solid measured move up to this area. And we have again another solid measured move here. And then we have a solid measured move here. So you can see how we've got these very solid 100% measured moves into this scenario. So now we're looking at, this has become a measured move. I'm looking at this type of consolidation or this type of consolidation to bring us to another measured move to the upside, which would put us up to the 2780, almost 2800 area. It would put us up to 2814. So that's what I'm kind of looking for, is another 100% measured move here in gold to take us up to this 2780, 2800 area. And I think that would be the area that we would peak before the election and start to roll downward. Okay, let's come back over here. Lastly, we'll go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin has collapsed again. Remember, I'd been telling you that Bitcoin was going to move lower. And I mentioned the reasoning why, because we were in this bearish flagging formation. We were trying to break below this lower level. We didn't. We broke down pretty hard yesterday. We're getting a little recovery now, up 579. We have technically come down and reached my lows. You see down in this area, that was the low area that I projected way out here. Do I think we're going to consolidate into this area? I would say likely, maybe a 60-65% chance that we consolidate a bit further down into this area. But, at this point, I am expecting, and let me get rid of some of these lines. And remember, this was me explaining to you the excess phase peak pattern. At this point, I am really expecting Bitcoin to attempt to roll out of this flagging. So this bearish flagging formation should roll. And what it should do in this case, you see we hit our low, we pulled back, and now we're flagging into the downtrend. If this results in an uptrend, we need to break out of this flag and we need to retest this level here. We have to basically get above that level to, let me try to draw that better. Get above that level to attempt to move to new highs, or we need to get below this low level here, which I've drawn with the green line. Get below that level to break down to new lows. Okay. So at this point, getting so close to this low within this flagging formation, I'm looking for either an A rotation to the outside of the flag or a B continuation of this downward trend. If we get the breakdown here, then Bitcoin is going to go lower and it's going to establish a new low, probably down in this 57,000 area. If we get this break of the flag, then Bitcoin is going to attempt to move somewhere within this range, but really attempt to reach this upper area and try to break through this. But that then gives us all of this support, this resistance, I should say, this resistance and this resistance that we're going to run into. So you can see we're right now at that resistance level. If we get above this, we will go somewhere to this level. If we get above this, we'll go somewhere to this level. And if we get above that, we'll go somewhere up here before trying to break out. So again, I'm looking for either an A type scenario, which is the exiting of the flag, or the B type scenario, which is the breakdown. And that's where we're at with Bitcoin. Okay. So now we're looking at a fairly solid rally day, I think, for gold and for the SPY. We'll see how it plays out. Pretty happy with the way things have played out so far. I mean, other than the counter trend pattern yesterday not going exactly as I had planned, but remember, I'm human. And even though and I love the comments, everybody, I try my best to give you the best advice that I can. It's really about quality of content. I'm doing my best every day to tell you what I think is going to happen, 2, 3, 5, 10 days plus into the future. And I don't know that too many people can do this with any degree of accuracy, but I'm doing it. And I really appreciate you guys. And remember, I'm human. Sometimes I'm wrong. And that's just part of the process. Okay, let's see how things play out. Talk to you guys later.